Hello everyone, my name is Olectralab and welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel depending on whether or not you've been here before. And today I'm going to be surviving 31 days of hardcore Minecraft, a whole month of Minecraft in Minecraft time. So the first thing I did was go ahead and get some wood from this nearby oak tree as I spawned in an oak and birch forest. Quickly got a wooden pickaxe and then upgraded to stone tools straight away and mined out a small hole under the ground just to get some basic blocks. Got a full set of stone tools including the hoe, and I got all the resources I needed to make a red bed. Made a red bed, got some leather from some llamas, and I plan on making a full set of leather armor, so that should be good. I'm going to try and make leather armor before I get iron armor. Got some coal and I made a smoker and smoked up some mutton, and that was the end of day one. Day two I broke my bed and I packed up all of my stuff and headed off to find coal and get more meat from animals. Killed some chickens, some cows and some sheep. I had enough leather to craft a red leather helmet, or leather, I don't know what you call it, leather hat, sort of like a hat. Got some sugarcane. I did find a mangrove, a very small biome of mangrove, but I didn't stay. And day three, I slept outside the mangrove area, and then day three I'm just going to speed through all this because it was just a bunch of me going around killing animals. I found my first village day three, and that gave me tons and tons of wheat, so I won't be starving anytime soon. I broke as much wheat as I could while I crafted the hoe. I was hoping I'd find a village. And I found an iron golem and I hit him, and I built up 3 blocks, and I was basically invulnerable to the iron golem because I was too high for him to reach with his stubby little arms, and I got him. It took me about 13 or so hits to get him, but eventually I got him and I got my first iron. I'm not going to plan on staying in this village because when you kill iron golems it gives you bad reputation, and I had enough leather by then from killing cows and that to make red boots and red leggings, leather leggings, and later on I dyed them black as well to make them a darker red. Didn't really like the darker red in the end, but that was it. Day 4 killed some more llamas, plenty of leather, took a bit of damage from them spitting at me, but that was fine. I got some pigs. I got the Monster Hunter achievement as well from killing a zombie that was just wandering around. Killed so many animals. I went hunting, getting lots of food. I didn't know when I'd run out of food, even though I had all the wheat. I just got as much meat as I possibly could. Found some more sugarcane as well. I found my second village as well on day 4, but it was the tiniest village I've ever seen. There was only 2 houses. There was one stonemason's house and there was no villagers around, and then there was one just regular bedroom type house that had some potatoes. So I took the potatoes for making a potato farm later on when I eventually settled down, and it was getting night time, so I slept, and then it was day 5 and I was back to getting more animals. Found some more sugarcane, killed some horses for leather. I know it sounds bad, but I needed the leather, and killed some more sheep as well. Got plenty of levels. I'm already on level 16 and it's day 5. It's not super impressive, but it's alright. It's a decent amount of experience. Day 5 I made it to the edge of the ocean. I went to bed and I woke up on day 6 and I made my first boat. Threw away my dye. It was the first item that I threw away because I didn't need it. And I plan on crossing the sea, so I crossed the sea. I went over to the other islands. It wasn't really a big ocean, it was just like more of a lake than an ocean. Went on some more adventures, went down the rivers. Day 6, and went exploring, found another plains biome, more oak, another mangrove biome, a savanna, plenty more sugarcane. I'm hoping to get a stack of sugarcane before I settle down so that I'll have a decent sugarcane farm. There was so much sugarcane around, so that was good. I've now got day 6. I've got a full set of leather armor dyed red. I think everything but the chest plate is dyed red and black. Found a swamp, and I got my first iron day 6, or my second iron. It's not my first iron, but my first iron that I found by mining on day 6. I also found a shipwreck on day 6. And I found leather armor with fire protection 4 and thorns 3. So I swapped out my armor that I'd spent ages getting, and now I've got enchanted leather. Also found a fishing rod with lure 2 that I would never use, and got hit by a drowned, but he wasn't really a threat. Day 6 I camped out on another island, went to bed, and woke up day 7. Day 7 I quickly broke the bed again, got back in my boat and continued to venture across the sea. I found another shipwreck, and I went for ages just across the water until I ran out of water. Found some sheep, got some more mutton and some more wool. I think I've already got a stack of wool at the moment, so I'm not picking up the wool, but I am picking up the mutton. Found a birch forest on day 7, and on day 7 it started to rain. So it was a little bit laggy, but it wasn't too bad. Crossed the sea a ton. Spent ages just rowing across the sea. And I found my first ocean monument. I didn't stop, I just saw a guardian and thought it's not really a good idea to take on one of the hardest structures in like the first 10 days. Then I camped out on a little island. Day 8 I found a ruined nether portal. I think this is my first ruined nether portal. And there was mending gold leggings, but I decided to just keep my leather armor that had like thorns 3, so because it was slightly better, I reckon. Found some more llamas, got some more leather, ate some mutton, went running through, found a dark oak forest with some sheep in it as well. One brown sheep, but I didn't pick the wool up. And then I went through a tall birch forest, and I found my first lava pool. So day 8, it was to the nether. I managed to get enough iron to get a bucket and a flint and steel, so I built a speedrunner's portal. Pretty risky, not risky, but a bit sketchy. And I went into the nether, but I spawned in a pretty bad spot. I was like way up, and I think I was in a basalt delta, and I didn't really want to risk going out and dying on day 8. So I went back to the overworld pretty much straight away, and I smelted up some of my iron, and I ate some mutton, and then I went to bed. Day 9 I woke up and I killed some chickens, got some feathers and some chicken meat, which I would never end up cooking. It would just end up in a chest in my new base on day 11. That's right, crossed the sea again, spent ages crossing the sea, made it to a new island. Decided to venture out across the island, found some pigs, got some nice pork chops. Went across the oceans again. I found a second ocean monument. Ocean monument on day 9. I think you can check my F3 menu. I'm a few thousand blocks away from spawn now. And I found a third ocean monument. I found 3 ocean monuments before day 10. So that was pretty good. I also found another ruined portal underwater, but I didn't end up really taking anything except for the gold. And I think I might have taken the axe as well. Can't remember. Anyway, I stopped at this island, and placing this bed was the worst decision I could make, because on day 10 I woke up, and because I'd gone past the ocean monument, the Elder Guardian had given me minor fatigue for 5 minutes, so it took forever to break the bed. It looks fast in the video because I sped it up by like 12 times, but it took ages to break that bed, even with a golden axe. Day 10 I ventured out. I found a few more islands. I located some more horses to get leather, so I had tons of leather. By the end of the adventure, when I get to finally setting up a base, I have like a full stack of leather. I also ran into some wolves, and I was trying to kill a cow, but I accidentally hit the wolves. I didn't want to kill the wolves, but I had to in the end because I accidentally angered them all. I went running through the forest again. I found another ruined portal. I don't know, this is like my 3rd ruined portal, I think. But there was nothing good in there, so I just left all the loot. Found a pretty deep cave and continued to run through the spruce forest. Crossed a little bit more water, went down the river, and went to sleep. Day 11, I continued down the river after breaking my bed, and I climbed over some mountains. Found a decent flat plateau, which was pretty up pretty high. Killed another cow as well, and continued to run. Went through another spruce forest, ate some bread, and went through another oak and birch forest. Found another cow as well on day 11. Continued to run for a long time. sped it up so you don't have to watch the whole thing of me running. And then on day 11 I went to sleep in the dark oak forest, which I found just before then. Killed some cows as well, so I got some more leather. And I continued on through the dark oak forest. I was wondering if I was going to bump into a woodland mansion, but I never found a woodland mansion. And I found a tall birch forest, I think it is, with the really tall birch trees. Continued around the mountains, kept going in a general direction that was hopefully one way, so I wasn't going around in circles. Continued, I made it to the ocean again, and I crossed over and found another tall birch forest. Killed some sheep, and continued through the birch forest. Killed a chicken, killed another chicken, killed even more chickens until I had tons of chicken. And then I made it to a dark oak forest again, another dark oak forest. We've run into about 3 dark oak forests so far, but that's alright. I do like the oak wood. I tried to do a water bucket clutch, but it failed. Luckily I didn't die. Day 12 I ate some bread and I continued looking. I found another lava pool, so I made another speedrunner portal. Headed into the nether, hoping I'd find a slightly better outcome, but I spawned really high up over what I can only assume would be a ton of lava, so I didn't end up staying in the nether for very long. I nearly got set on fire, but not quite. Day 12, and I went to sleep. Day 13, I woke up and I left the second portal that I'd made and continued through the oak and birch forest, another oak and birch forest. They're really common. Found some more chickens, so I'd have extra food in my inventory for whenever I need it. Crossed another ocean. This ocean was pretty big. And then ran into another dark forest. It's like the 4th dark oak forest that we've run into so far. And I sprinted through here, another tall birch forest, and I ran out. Found my 3rd village. And I decided to settle down in this village because it was a pretty good village. There was tons of villagers. I could hopefully get some stick trades, make some emeralds. I also found a blacksmith chest with like 5 obsidian and 2 diamonds, so that was enough to make an enchantment table without having to go mining for diamonds. And I also found some more potatoes and some bread. Decided that I would build a cobblestone house. I know it's ugly, but it's my starter base, so it's not super pretty, but it does the job. Went mining, got rid of a hill, started placing down a foundation for the house. And day 13, the foundations, or the beginning of the foundations for my what would become a 4-story house, were complete. And I recorded day 14 twice, so technically this is day 15, but I'm just going to say it's day 14 because I wasn't recording for some reason. It didn't record on day 14, so that's why the house is partially built already without it being seen. I think I also made an enchantment table with the diamonds and obsidian. Yeah, I did, and put it over there, but no bookshelves yet because I haven't crafted them yet. I went outside and I began flattening all the ground around, got tons of sand so I could make glass, day 14. And I made quite a few glass panes. I filled in the roof, and I went mining again outside on a little hill that was next to the area where I'd settled down. Mined a massive area of stone out of the hill. And I finished the roof, day 14. And I also put glass windows, glass panes in the house. It's a very basic house. It's just a square with windows, but it does the job. It keeps me safe from mobs at night. And I finished the windows. Pretty soon I'm going to finish the windows. And then I just sort of went to bed, day 14. That was all that was day 14. The villager was in my bed, but that was fine. Day 15 I woke up and cleared a lot more of the land around my little house that I'd made, my little base. So it's going to be nice and flat. And it is a bit dizzying to watch, but I sped it up by about 12 times, so you wouldn't have to just watch me break tons of blocks. I probably should have just skipped ahead rather than doing a speed run, or a sped up version. It would be nice if I used, I was going to use, what was it called? there's like the replay mod, that's what it is, where you can get like a shot from a different perspective of me doing it, but I just never got around to doing it, so you just have to watch my jittery footage of me removing a mountain. Spent pretty much the whole of day 15 just mining the area around my house to make a flat plateau so that I could expand and build farms. Day 16 I chopped down some trees, got plenty of oak logs and replanted some of the trees as well with the saplings that I got. I got a ton of saplings from just the few trees that were around because they were the big type of oak trees that spawn and become massive and really annoying to remove. Planted tons of them, removed a lot more ground, dug out a ton of land around my little base. It's pretty bad watching. I'm just looking back, it's pretty glitchy, me just running around at 12 times normal speed. Day 17 I filled up a whole row of my double chest with dirt blocks, which would come in handy later when I end up building wheat farms and sugarcane farms and that. Got a lot more sand, a lot more dirt, a little bit of cobblestone I think at some point here. And there's a lake next to my house, between my house and the village, that I kind of want to cover over with dirt and turn into farmland, so I'm probably going to do that at some point along here. Day 17 was mostly just clearing land to make room for farmland. So yeah, villager was sleeping in my bed again, so I had to kick him out, but that's fine. Day 18 I was continuing. I just kept mining and making a flat area for farmland. Eventually there'll be farmland here, and hopefully a sheep farm at some point as well, so I can get wool to make beds for the villagers, and so I can get mutton as well. I crafted some. Day 18 I crafted some pickaxes and some shovels, and I went out and I continued. I'm spending a lot of time. I spent a lot of time just clearing the ground around my house because I'm just stuck with stone tools. I didn't want to use my iron on tools really. I didn't have very much iron as well, so at some point we'll go mining and get some iron probably. But I mined a ton of sand and a ton of dirt and a ton of cobblestone. Also got some wood as well at some point here. Chopped down a couple of trees that had grown while I was busy mining. Or not mining, but digging. Chopped down some more trees, and then it was starting to get dark, so I went to bed. Day 19 I woke up and checked a villager's trade, and he was going to rip me off, so I didn't buy anything from him. And I just went back to mining the surrounding ground, crafted a ton of shovels. Not a ton, like 4 shovels I think it was. And some pickaxes, and just headed out, and I was on the grind to make a nice flat area of land to build my base. Fell in the water there on accident and continued mining. There's a lot of me just mining. Most of it is mining. I spent so much time just collecting blocks for later. And we've got a pretty big area now surrounding the base, but it could be bigger, so I'm going to go back and continue mining. Day 19, pretty much the whole of day 19 was just me getting rid of blocks around. I might cut this bit out of the video because it's just pretty arduous, but maybe not. Maybe it's still in here. I filled up a ton of, probably about a full chest's worth of dirt. Found some coal as well, which I'll later use for torches and for smelting food, and possibly smelting some ores as well. Spent day 20 just mining. Got some sandstone, got some cobblestone, got some copper ore and some coal. And hopefully after this I'll have enough blocks to build extra stories onto my house, so I can have a slightly higher mansion than the rest of the village. And day 20 I crafted some more pickaxes. We're still on day 20. Did so much removing of blocks. This was like all hills, and then I just made it nice and flat. Nice and flat. Very flat. Extremely flat. Got some more copper ore there. And at some point in time I'm going to get rid of that mountain which is next across the river there through the glass. Made a couple of double chests day 20 and then I went to bed. Day 21 I spent mining. Again, it's just a lot of mining. Got some wood as well, some of my trees had grown. And spent more time gathering dirt and making a clear, clean area. What did I do day 22? Oh, there we go, day 22. So tomorrow I'm going to build an extra story onto my house so that it can be a nicer house and so that it can be a break from mining as well. I'm going to hopefully put cobblestone paths down all over this flat area and then just build farmland in between, like 9x9 blocks of farmland, because they're the most efficient use of the water source block. And day 21 I had finished clearing out a massive area of my house and I placed down some ladders ready for adding on a second story. Came up and had a look around, but didn't end up building a second story on day 21. Day 22 I dumped all of my garbage blocks into the chest, collected some cobblestone from my chests, and I built a second story onto my house. So now I have a slightly bigger mansion. Also made some stairs and put stairs all around or like an overhang all around the first story to make it look slightly more interesting than just a square. Continued to build a cobblestone monstrosity of a mansion. Also filled in most of the roof, not the whole roof yet, but we'll get there eventually. Had to come down and get some more cobblestone from my chest. And the second story was complete. I just needed to put in the windows so that I can see out over my land that I have claimed. Just going to speed up through this bit here, put a bunch of things in, put another room around the second story as well. Now I have a 2-story house. I just need to make more stairs so that I can finish putting the stairs around the house. And here we go, nearly done the second story. Accidentally misplaced a block and then I edited the bit out where I broke the block again. And I added a third story as well the same day. Day 22, third story as well. I also tried to fill in the roof. Can't remember whether I finished or not. Yes, I did. I finished it. Put some torches down as well and some glass. Now I've got a nice third story view over my village that I found. And day 22, it was time to go to bed. Day 23, I woke up and went up and down the ladders in my house, just checking out my house. I also went up to the top and added the outer rim on the third story. Bit of dangerous work and hardcore, but we weren't too high up, so we probably wouldn't have died. And that is my beautiful house, my beautiful cobblestone house. Made a nice cobblestone path all around the outside of the house, and I placed down some water and put some dirt in, ready for farmland. I tilled it all, and I planted my first seeds and got the seedy place achievement. Then I worked on making a sugarcane farm, or the beginnings of a sugarcane farm. Put some cobblestone paths down around it as well, and filled all of the little channels up with water so that I could grow my sugarcane. Not going to plant the sugarcane till day 24 though. I had to go to bed because it was night time. Day 24 though, I had about 61 sugarcane, almost a full stack from when I was just adventuring to get here. By the way, this base is about 9,000 blocks away from spawn, so I travelled a decent way in about 10 days, 11 days. Also day 24, I spent a lot of time just mining out I mined out one extra block towards the other side of the house. Got rid of all that so I could put new cobblestone paths in. Filled in a little bit of the lake, but not quite, just a tiny bit of the lake. Added another farm, which would be my potato farm, and another farm, which would be my carrot farm. Just had to fill all of this area in with dirt real quick. And I've got 2 more blocks of farmland, and I went ahead and tilled those blocks of farmland so that I could plant plants there of the carrot or potato variety. Also filled up the sugarcane farm with sugarcane, some of it grew, so I expanded it a little bit. A villager somehow got out of the village and went wandering down my cobblestone path on day 25. Day 25, I spent most of day 25 actually filling in the lake. So there's like a little lake, it's like a really deep watery ravine that goes down like really deep. I covered it all with dirt so that I wouldn't fall in and go swimming or whatever. So I don't know what I'm saying now. Took me a little while, but I eventually filled in most of the lake. I left a little bit at the end, but filled plenty of it in. So all of this can become farmland. Gonna probably put some sheep pens in here and maybe a cow pen. Probably not a cow pen within the first 31 days, but a sheep pen definitely. But first I had to find some sheep. Went over to the blacksmith, and I also went round the village and found some carrots growing, and got some more potatoes and some bread. Also found some apples and a book. And I expanded the farms a little bit, and then I went to bed. Day 26 I woke up to a zombie which was on fire, so I quickly disbanded of him. And moved on to harvesting my sugarcane. Got 42 paper and made 15 books. I then decided to move my enchanting table to the second floor, and I had 5 bookshelves. But I wanted to get level 30 enchantments, so I probably won't enchant until I've got a full set of bookshelves. Also made a path up the side of the hill here, and I made a sheep pen. Found some sheep over in the neighbouring paddock. Managed to lure 3 of them all the way back to my little pen. They just followed me in right to the pen, gave them some wheat so they were distracted, and then I quickly got the experience from breeding them and penned them in. And now I have a sheep farm. Day 26 I also spent a bit of time removing a mountain which was nearby that was in the way of my view. Wanted to get an extra nice view, so I got rid of it. And this takes a little while, but eventually I'll get there. I think I have to I'm going to end up having to go to bed before I finish the whole of this mountain, but I got rid of a lot of it. Spent tons of shovels removing it. Probably used up about 8 shovels maybe less than 8 shovels, I'm not sure. Put some torches down around my sheep farm, then went to bed. Day 27 I woke up to a villager in my room, but that was okay. I went out to my sugarcane farm and I continued to collect sugarcane. Then I went over to the mountain and started removing pretty much all the blocks of the mountain that was in the way between my house and the village. And day 27 I got rid of the majority of the mountain. I left a little bit of stone that I'll later turn into a mining shack, probably make a little house out of it. Found some iron in the mountain as well, which was good. It was only like 3 iron, but it was good. I also found some copper, which doesn't really have much of a use other than it looks kind of cool, except I personally think it looks a lot better when it's waxed, when it's just shiny copper rather than oxidized. I didn't really want to use copper because they're oxidized, and then they turn an ugly blue color. Spent a lot of time just mining day 27, and then it got late, so I had to go to bed, and I headed back to my bed to sleep on the bottom floor. I kicked the villager out and I went to bed. Day 28 I started the day off by having some bread for breakfast. I had a tiny little square of stone left from the mountain that I removed, and I mined all the stone out around it so that I could turn the block of stone into a single little mining hut. I was going to hollow it out and then put little windows in it. Got a nice slab of stone to work with. Going to put a double door here. Then I hollowed it out, and I found some more iron as well, so I smelted that up. Put some windows in so it looks like a nice little stone house. I haven't got doors for it yet, but one day I'll get doors for it. Also put a nice little cobblestone stair rim around the outside so it's got a little overhang, looks a little bit more detailed, and I put some around the base as well. Day 28 I also harvested some carrots and expanded the carrot farm a little bit. Got some sugarcane and ate some bread. Managed to craft 20 books with the sugarcane that I got and the leather that I had from killing a bunch of cows, horses and llamas earlier. Then I went to bed. Day 29 I woke up and I chopped down some trees. I chopped down a lot of trees day 29. Pretty much all the trees that I'd planted I harvested and then got the saplings as well. And it took me a little while, but I eventually managed to clear out most all of the trees, except for the really complicated ones, which I sort of got rid of, but they took a while to despawn, just because there was tons of wooden blocks stuck within the leaves that I couldn't get to. Picked up tons of saplings, which would be useful for a later tree farm, which probably won't be in day 31, before day 31, but anyway. Collected some more wood, went running around, ate some bread, pulled it up and tried to get rid of all of the wood that was stuck in the weird shaped trees. Eventually succeeded. Got rid of some more of the small trees, and I had a decent amount of wood by the end of this lumberjacking session. Head back down here. I couldn't get to sleep day 29 because there was an Enderman on my second story, so I trapped him in a boat and killed him. Didn't want to risk dying by just attacking him straight out. And I slept on the, I think it was the second or third story on day 29. Day 30 I woke up and found another Enderman outside my house. He didn't drop a pearl, but he did drop a block of grass. Day 30 I also built a fourth story onto my little house. Went around and put all the rims on, being very careful not to fall and die on day 30. And got some more glass panes, filled the glass panes into the empty window spots. And I think I finished the roof. I also made 9 more bookshelves with some of the books that I got. So that was enough to nearly get, I nearly had level 30 enchants, but not quite. Headed down on day 30 to the mining shack, and I started a mine. I'm just going to speed this bit up a little bit. But I dug all the way down to deep slate, so I forget what Y level I was at. It's negative 0, or below 0 I think I got to. Then I ran up, and it was the end of day 30 and it was the middle of the night, so I went to bed so as not to let mobs spawn. Day 31 I ate some bread and I went outside. I harvested my wheat, which was growing, so now I have a sustainable source of food. I can eat bread, and if I had cocoa beans I could make cookies, but I don't have any cocoa beans. I also started a potato farm, or increased the potato farm that I already had, and I increased the carrot farm that I already had. Also harvested the sugar cane, which gave me 64 paper, which was just enough to make 21 more books, which was just enough to make 7 more bookshelves. And now I can get level 30 enchants, so that's good, but I don't have 30 levels yet, so never get to enchant it yet. But I have a full kitted out enchanting table now. Also made a nice little slab staircase going up the hill here from my farms. Put some slabs down to make it nice and easy to run up and down. And I also leveled the area up the top out so that there was just a nice flat cube area. Then I went to bed, and that was the end of day 31. So thanks for watching and have a nice day. That was 31 days of hardcore Minecraft.